Hey guys, it's Adrian over BHA here, bringing you a new video. Have you ever had a hard to reach location, maybe that doesn't have a good Wi-Fi coverage, but you still want to be able to have a security camera out there to keep an eye on things? Maybe you have animals that are coming up late at night. Maybe you have like a vacation home, and when you're not staying there, you want to make sure that animals aren't getting into things, or maybe someone's trying to break into the house while you're not around, but it doesn't have good Wi-Fi coverage. Well, the great folks over at Eufy have sent me over one of their brand new solar-powered S330 4G LTE camera to show you guys. Now this thing is awesome. Not only does it have 360-degree coverage with its PTZ capabilities, but it's fully solar powered and it supports 4G and Wi-Fi. If you want to use it local right next to your house and you have good Wi-Fi coverage, you can set it on Wi-Fi and even take advantage of the home base. But if you have a harder to reach location that doesn't get good internet coverage, but can still get good cell coverage, then you could take advantage of their 4G capabilities. The great folks over at EIOTCLUB included a SIM card with the camera as well.
Now this SIM card will come preloaded with about 100 megabits of data, which should last you roughly about 7 days. And the really cool thing is that it functions on AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile 4G networks. EIOTCLUB is a top-tier prepaid refillable SIM card for all of your IoT devices. The SIM cards have a 10-year warranty and also come with 24/7 customer service if you run into any issues at all. If you have any other 4G IoT devices that need to use SIM cards, be sure to check out EIOTCLUB's website and their Amazon storefront.
Nonetheless, we're going to dive right in and see what all we can do with it. So let's get started.
As you probably already saw, you can pick up this camera straight from Eufy for $199. That's $50 off currently, which is an awesome deal when you think about all of this camera's capabilities. You can also pick it up on Amazon, but it's not currently on sale, so it's still listed at the $250 price. Still a good deal, but if you're considering buying this camera, be sure to head over to Eufy's website. Keep in mind, this camera comes with everything you're going to need, meaning the solar panel, a 32 gig SD card for local storage, and that 100 megabit refillable SIM card from EIOTCLUB.
And of course, I will have links to both Eufy and EIOTCLUB's website and storefronts in the description below.
Without further ado, let's get started. Let's get this camera opened up here. So one thing I have always loved about Eufy packaging is that they do a great job with marketing. They have tons of information on the outside of the box, not only giving you the basic capabilities of this camera, but also telling you what all comes in the box as well. And if we slide this outer sleeve off here and get it opened up, right there on top, we got the solar panel, which this is much larger than what you usually see on a lot of these cameras. They're usually more of a rectangular shape, and this solar panel is a full square. This thing is huge. It's pretty impressive. Got a pretty lengthy USB-C cable as well to make sure you can mount that solar panel wherever you need to get the best amount of sunlight. We got our EIOTCLUB refillable SIM card here, and you can see it works on Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile networks, so that's pretty cool there. Let's see, we got a box here with all the accessories. Let's look inside this thing. Looks like we have window stickers for added security. We got the instruction manual for setting up the camera. We even got an installation strap to help you install it and get it set up, which is always nice when you're installing the camera by yourself. It just gives you a little bit of extra help to get that thing installed. We got the solar panel mount, a 32 gig micro SD card for local storage. We've got a USB-C cable for getting the camera set up initially. And then of course mounting screws and the mounting bracket for the camera itself. So we saw that mounting bracket for the solar panel earlier. This is the mounting bracket for the camera. I like how they do the brackets separately from the camera, which gives you the ability to install the bracket itself and then attach the camera to the bracket afterwards. Makes it a little bit easier doing the install. And lastly, in the box, we got the camera itself. Now, this is a pretty decent size camera. You can see that the power cable is going to plug in the back there. And there's even a place to add an external antenna if you needed to. You would have to purchase that antenna separately, as there's not one that comes in the box itself. The micro SD card plugs into the front just above the camera lens right there. But that's pretty much everything that comes in the box itself. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll get this camera added into the Eufy app. So I ran into a bit of an issue getting this camera set up in the Eufy app with the EIOTCLUB SIM card initially. I'll try to summarize what happened here so that I can keep the video from being too long. But basically, I attempted to add the camera with the provided EIOTCLUB SIM card, and it wouldn't complete the activation. I tried with an older EIOTCLUB SIM card I had, and that didn't work either. So I went ahead and I added the camera via Wi-Fi and checked for firmware updates. There was an update, so I applied that and then tried to switch the camera from Wi-Fi to 4G, and it didn't work. So didn't have a lot of options left at this point, other than I went ahead and restarted the camera from within the app just to make sure the camera was seeing the SIM card. I was still unable to switch from Wi-Fi to 4G, so for a last-ditch effort, I removed the camera from the app completely and tried adding it again via 4G, and it worked. So I'm not sure what was causing the problem or what actually did the trick as far as fixing it, but if anyone gets this camera and has this issue, hopefully that little segment there will help them troubleshoot. Nonetheless, here are the steps for adding it via 4G. Basically, we're going to hit the plus in the top corner, and then we want to select battery camera. We're going to scroll down to the bottom. We're looking for 4G LTE cam S330. We're going to select that. We'll choose our home here, and then it asks if we are installing it via Wi-Fi or 4G, so we're going to choose 4G network here. And after that, we need to scan the QR code on the back of the camera. And if you haven't already, now we need to install the SIM card. I already have mine installed. And just a note, make sure you are installing it the correct way. It will slide in upside down, so just be careful. Now it has two options for setting up the SIM card. The EIOTCLUB should work just fine using the recommended option there at the top. So we'll go ahead and select that, and once we do, it wants us to hold the sync button down on the back of the camera until we hear it beep. Then you're ready for the camera to read a QR code off of your phone. So you'll hold your phone in front of the camera until it picks up that QR code and scans it in. And then we just need to wait for it to activate the SIM card and complete the setup on the phone in the app. And boom, added successfully. You can choose your location now if you want to. I'm going to choose garage. Not really sure that's the best name for it, but we're going to go with it for now. You can choose what camera working mode you want. I'm going to leave it the default for now. It says it saves battery, so we'll go with that. What type of notifications do we want? There are three different options there. The default is the fastest, but you don't get a thumbnail. So we'll go ahead and try that for now. We'll probably end up changing it. Let's see, you can choose if you want it to record audio or not. It will use more data, so keep that in mind if you do decide to record audio. I'm going to leave it off for now. And then lastly, it just kind of goes through the installation and what needs to be done, as well as adding the SD card if we needed to. But that's it. SIM card is now activated and we have the camera added to the Eufy app. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step and get the camera installed. I'm going to be installing this camera on the back side of my shed. Now this is on the outskirts of my property, so it's outside of Wi-Fi coverage from my house, which should work great for 4G coverage. So you can see I have an older 4G camera still installed up there, but that solar panel has even fallen off. So it should make for an easy install as we just remove the old camera and get the new one installed. And you can see here we got the old camera removed. We are ready to install the brackets for the new solar panel and camera. And here in this clip I have the brackets installed. I only have 2 screws for each currently because I want to make sure that these are in a good location before I finish everything. And unfortunately this first install was a utter failure, so the solar panel is definitely going to be blocking some of the camera coverage there. I didn't want to drill all new holes when I moved the camera down a little bit, so I kind of compromised. I moved over to the far hole and then I just drilled one new hole. It's probably not the best install, but it'll work for now. And as you can see here in the clip from the newly installed camera, the panel is really only on the top side of the corner there, so it's not too bad. The solar panel is not blocking it too much. I'm able to cover the area that I was looking for, so that's kind of the most important part, I guess. Let's move on to the next step, and I'll go over to config in the app.
Here we are in the Eufy app, and you can see the camera right there on the top. Of course, if we open it up here, you can see the image, and it's looking pretty good. This has definitely got a good 4K quality video. As for the controls along the bottom there, we got the record button, which will save clips to your camera roll on your phone. We can turn on and off sound if we want to hear what is going on or not. We got that two-way talk button in the middle to be able to communicate with people on camera. Then we got the PTZ controls for moving the camera around, and then the spotlight for brightening up the area at night. We can swipe over along the bottom there for some additional controls, and let's see, we got screenshot. If we just want to take a quick picture, we can then change the night vision settings here as well. We can also turn on and off the AI tracking. And then if you have preset location set, then we can jump to a preset location that's already defined. And it looks like there's one more swipe there. If we swipe over one more time, there is the patrol button there. So if we want to put the camera in patrol mode, which will kind of have it go around and cover its whole range of view, it will do that. But that's all the controls along the bottom there. If we hit the settings button up in the top corner, right there at the top, you can disable the camera altogether if you wanted to. You can see what the current cellular signal is, as well as the current battery life on the camera. Mine's looking pretty good, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Since we are running this in 4G, it does show us how much data is remaining on our SIM card plan. So if we wanted to, we can actually go in here and add more data right here in the app, which is pretty awesome. As you can see, I've already added some more data to my trial card. It comes with that 100 meg of free data, which you can use with that EIOTCLUB SIM card, but I've got an additional data added on there, so I'm up to 12 gig. EIOTCLUB and Eufy really have made it easy to get this data whenever you need to, so that's pretty awesome. Under motion detection is where we can, of course, disable motion detection, as well as set the sensitivity. So by default, it's kind of right there in the middle. I'll probably leave it that way for now. We also have various detection types that we can monitor for. So if we want to add vehicle detection or just monitor all motion, we can do that here as well. By default, only human detection is enabled. And then, of course, we can enable AI tracking. It will follow a person or vehicle as long as they remain in view of the camera. But if we jump back out of there, under the pan and tilt is where we can set our preset position. You can have up to 4 preset positions set. I like to have at least one that is defaults to, so basically it will move back to that location after a period of time. If it's been tracking someone, or if I have moved it to another location temporarily, it will revert back to that preset location.
Let's see, under night vision, this is where we can adjust our default night vision setting. So by default, it uses regular infrared black and white night vision. But you can choose to enable color night vision, which is what I want to use. It will use more battery power, but I think the solar panel should do a pretty good job of keeping the battery charged. Now under power management, this is where you can see your current battery state and detection statistics. Now it defaults to optimal battery life, which will give you about 10-second recordings for your events. If you want to go with a little bit longer, you can choose the optimal surveillance working mode, which is what I want to do. It will give you 20-second recordings. That's a little bit longer. Now keep in mind, it will drain the battery faster. Since I've only been running this for one day, I don't have much on the solar dashboard, but you can see how it's been charging over time here on this dashboard. I have a follow-up video coming out in a few weeks, so I'll try to include a clip of the dashboard after it's been running for a while, so you get a little bit better data. You kind of see how your solar panel is performing and if maybe you need to make adjustments so that it gets the right amount of sunlight. Now the rest of the settings are pretty standard on all Eufy cameras. Under video settings, we can adjust the recording and streaming quality defaults. As well as turn off the watermark if we wanted to. Under audio settings, you can turn the microphone off altogether or decide if you want to do audio recording. You can also adjust the speaker volume of what people will hear if you're doing the two-way audio. Under notification settings is where we can decide how detailed of notifications we want to see. I like the full effect, so it includes a thumbnail, so that's what I want to switch to. It just gives you the ability to see that thumbnail and decide if you want to view that saved or recorded clip or not. Other than that, under general, you can change the name if you wanted to. I think I'm going to go ahead and change mine to shed instead of garage, since it's on that back side of my shed. You can toggle the status LED off if you wanted to. So if you want to be a little bit more incognito, then you of course turn that status LED off. Makes it a little bit more hidden. This is where you can come to switch between 4G and Wi-Fi. So if you are currently in Wi-Fi mode and you're ready to make that transition to 4G, you can do that here under connection settings. Lastly, we can check on our local storage status. We can view all of the device information on the device, as well as check for firmware updates. But that pretty much covers everything you can do in the app for this camera. Let's go ahead and move on to the last step. I'm going to show you some footage from the camera itself, both daytime and nighttime, and give you my final thoughts. Okay, let's start off with some footage from the camera. First up, we got the nighttime footage, and I was unable to get very good infrared footage. Our neighbor has a spotlight on the edge of her property that shines, it's out of range of the camera, but the camera still picks up a lot of that light, and it just doesn't allow us to get very good, clear infrared night vision. But the color night vision looks great. You can see that here as well. It's really nice. Got a really clear image. Kind of moving it around here just to show you. We also have the daytime footage as well, and it looks awesome. I can kind of move it all around here and show you that as well. You can see how clear it is, and even towards the end there, you can see a car driving by, and it's super clear, super nice image. Really great for a 4K 4G camera. So let's do a quick rundown of what we got here. So this is a 4K PTZ camera that is solar powered. It not only runs on Wi-Fi, but will also run on 4G as well. And it comes with everything you need, even the 4G SIM card from EIOTCLUB with a week's worth of data to test it out with. A really cool thing about the SIM card is that it runs on Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. So whatever you have in your area with the best coverage, this thing should handle it. You can even refill the SIM card right from the Eufy app. But this camera really is awesome. You can pick it up from Eufy's website for $199, which is currently $50 off the regular price. It is for sale on Amazon's website as well, but it is not listed as being on sale. So it currently shows for about $250. So you will want to get it straight from Eufy to take advantage of that discount. I'll have links to Eufy and EIOTCLUB in the description below. If you aren't interested in this particular camera, head over to Eufy's website. They have tons of products out there. I guarantee you'll find something that you do like.
I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all of the Burns home automation merchandise. And if you're looking for the latest smart home gear, you're going to want to check out SMONet. I'll have a link in the description below. Head over there and see what deals they currently have running. And if you're looking for the latest smart window treatment, you're going to want to check out Smartwings. I'll have a link in the description below for them as well. Head over there and see what deals they currently have running. And if you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, you're going to want to check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below. If you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.